Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. It keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Music Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, none other than Lillie Holmes. Always remember that that is with an I-E, never a Y. I despise the Y with a burning passion. Today we're going to talk about a few topics, starting with Nickelback and their greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. A lot of people have some kind of a weird vendetta against Nickelback, but I've always thoroughly loved their music, and I'm going to let you guys know what songs you should listen to if you're not already familiar. Then we're going to get into Billboard's current global top 10 of their 200 list. They've got a pretty interesting list going right now. After that, we're going to talk about the songs you should sing in the shower at the top of your lungs. A lot of people like to deny that they sing in the shower, but we all know everyone has done it at least once. And I'm going to let you guys in on what songs you should be singing if you don't already sing them. And then stick around later on because we're going to talk about my favorite songs from the early 2000s. Quick background for you guys if you are not familiar with anything having to do with Nickelback. They are a Canadian rock band that formed in 1995 in Canada. I would say their most popular years are from around 1997 to about 2010. They've had music come out since then. Their most popular release being The Devil Went Down to Georgia came out in August of 2020. It did decently well, coming in at number 3 on the Billboard Hot Hard Rock Songs chart. So not bad. I was personally a little disappointed with this song. I have been a fan of Nickelback for I shouldn't say my whole life, but from the minute I heard one of their songs, I've never been a hardcore, diehard fan. Wouldn't call myself a fangirl of the band, but I definitely have, I would say, like a decent amount of their music. And by the time, I got older and they hadn't released music in a while, I was actually complaining about it in July of 2020. I was on vacation with my family and I was talking to them. I'm like, Nickelback hasn't released a song or any music in a while. And I really miss their music. I don't know why people hate on them. And then a month later, they released the song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And again, it wasn't a bad song, but I feel like there was a lot of anticipation for them not releasing music for a decent amount of time. So I was a little disappointed by it. I'm not a fan of it, but a lot of rock fans and a lot of hardcore Nickelback fans were a huge fan of it. So that was a plus for them all around. Personally, not my favorite. Nickelback is also one of the most successful Canadian rock bands ever, according to Billboard. They think they are one of the only Canadian rock bands to ever really make it the way Nickelback has, because they've had hit after hit and everyone has heard of Nickelback, and I guarantee everyone has heard at least one of their songs. Even if they may not be able to identify that it's Nickelback singing that song, they have definitely heard it before. Like I stated before, a lot of people have a really weird vendetta against Nickelback. I've seen a lot of memes online that say stuff like, can we stop pretending that Nickelback has good music? And then I've also seen memes that say, can we stop pretending that Nickelback doesn't have good music? So I think there's definitely a push and pull as to if it's mainstream to like Nickelback or not. Again, I've always been a pretty big fan of the songs of them that I do know. I do not know every single one of their albums or every single one of the songs off the top of my head or anything like that. But I know a lot of their major hits. They've also had multiple number one songs in their career. Some of those bigger ones being Someday, Photograph, Far Away, If Everyone Cared, Gotta Be Somebody, and many, many more. They've done more than prove themselves in the music industry. Their fifth studio album, called All the Right Reasons, certified diamond, actually. Certified diamond is a very, very big deal and a very prestigious thing, at least in my opinion. So again, I don't know what all the hate is about. They sold 10 million sales and streams worldwide with that fifth studio album. That is absolutely insane. And they've also spent over 200 weeks on charts before. Over 200 weeks. That is almost over 4 years. That is an extraordinary long amount of time. Again, I've always been a big fan of them, of the songs that I do know, and the ones that I do know of them, they are played very frequently on my playlist for sure. When I was doing some of the research about Nickelback and learning a lot more about them than I ever really had, I was thinking about all the songs that they had because I was seeing a list of all of them on Google and stuff like that. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of that one. And then I'd see the popular ones that I have heard of. And out of curiosity, I went to my playlist on Spotify and I typed in Nickelback, and I only have 9 of their songs. Those 9 of their songs I love a lot. I replay them very, very frequently. And those 9 songs are going to be the list of the songs I give to you guys that I all think you should listen to. If you don't already listen to them or haven't heard them at least once, maybe, give them a try. I'm going to start at number 9 being my least favorite. But again, this is 9 out of their very, very many songs. So I still do like it. Number 9, we have their song Someday. That actually, like I mentioned before, was a number 1 on Billboard Hot 100 chart. So that is a good song. It's not as rock. No, it's definitely a rock song. I should say that. It is not as bang your head rock as some of their other songs. And one of the reasons I really like Nickelback is they have a lot of songs you just want to bang your head to and just kind of gets you pumped up, stuff like that. But I do enjoy the song. It's just not as rocky in some cases that I do like rock for. At number 8, we have the song Far Away. The song is more slowed down for them for sure. It's more of a, you could say, sad song almost. It's a love song at the end of the day. A lot of their songs are love songs, just like a lot of songs in the pop rock music world. The world revolves around love. We've mentioned that before. At number 7, we have the song Never Gonna Be Alone on my list here. This is a great song as well. Obviously one of my favorites if it made my playlist. I don't add songs to my playlist that I don't in particularly like. So again, if it's on my playlist, definitely would recommend it. Not that I am the end-all, be-all of music critics or anything like that, but I like to think I have a pretty broad range and taste when it comes to it. So if I recommend it, again, would go ahead and take a listen. Just, if you have some free time on your hands. But again, number 7, we have Never Gonna Be Alone. This is another love, it's not a slowed down love song like Far Away. It's actually very similar to Far Away. Maybe one of the critiques I think a lot of people may have with Nickelback is I would definitely say a lot of their music does sound the same. I don't have an issue with it. I happen to like the way they sound, so I'm okay if all their music sounds the same, but, words are just interchanged a little bit and substituted for different words, but, maybe same beats and tempos once in a while. Never have an issue like that. At number 6, we have Gotta Be Somebody. I believe this may have been the first song I ever heard by Nickelback, or at least the first song I ever recall hearing and knowing it was Nickelback. Because I remember hearing this song while I was watching TV one day. I was maybe 11 or 12. I don't remember even what I was watching. I just remember hearing the song and really liking the song. And I went to my computer that had like barely any internet speed or was slow as could be and was a very outdated computer to begin with, and typing in the lyrics on Google, trying to figure out what the song was. And so when I was 11 or 12, it was 2011 or 2012. The internet was obviously very, very popular then, but you couldn't type in lyrics to a song and it wouldn't come up as easy as it does now. So I remember, I think I had to do a little bit of research before I finally found the song and I could listen to the entire thing. Because, on movies and TV shows and on TV and stuff, the songs are usually, cut down a lot for whatever purpose. But I found it on YouTube and I could finally listen to it and I was very, very excited about it. So I believe that was the first song I had ever heard by them. At number 5, we have the song Photograph. This is a great song by them. It, tells a story of, talking about back in high school and older times and stuff like that. I have a very hard time listening to this song now because there was I believe it was a Vine, and at the beginning of the song where the singer goes, "Look at this photograph," and he's holding up a picture in the music video, someone edited and it says, "Look at this graph," and they put a bar graph or a line graph or whatever in the music video where he's holding the photograph. So that's all I think of now when I'm listening to it, and it's almost tainted it for me. I still really enjoy the song, but that's all I ever picture now. Putting my top 4 songs together and ranking them was something I really had trouble doing because these last 4 songs here I thoroughly enjoy a lot, and it's really hard for me to pick my favorite. But I did it. It was very hard, but I managed to do it so you all could listen and find out. At number 4, I have the song This Afternoon. I really like this song. It's a happier I don't know if you could say happier. It's just it's not really a sad song as much. It's not a love song. It's just kind of about, hanging out with your friends and just hanging out and just being young and living your life, stuff like that. And one of my favorite lines in the song is towards the end where they say, "It's not the human walk, it's the human race." I'm not sure if they were aiming at getting any kind of point across in that song. Even if they didn't, I really like it. I really like the meaning behind the song, kind of that we're all in this together type thing, even if no one ever actually wants to think about it that way. But again, I really like that. At number 3, I have the song How You Remind Me. This is a song I replayed so many times. I'm surprised I even like it anymore. And I think that goes to show, if you really like a song or not, by if you've replayed it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and you still have it on your playlist and you don't skip it every time it comes on because for some reason you still really like it. At number 2, my number 2 and my number 1 are 2 songs I really went back and forth debating on which one should be number 1 and which one should be number 2. I settled at number 2 being If Today Was Your Last Day. I really like the meaning behind the song. It's a little, you could say down in the dumps and depressing because no one ever wants to think about if today was possibly their last day to be alive. And that's what the song is about. And they say a lot of stuff in there about, they sing about living your life to the fullest and living your life with meaning and stuff like that. And I really enjoy, hearing stuff like that because a lot of people get caught up in, maybe, well, tomorrow I'll do this or next time or next this. And, the unfortunate part is there is not always a next time. And that's kind of what the song is about. And I really like that. I actually did I believe it was my AP Lang class, my senior year of high school. We had to analyze some song or poem and the deeper meaning behind it. And I believe I picked this one. And I went over the deeper meaning behind if today was your last day and, how would you react and stuff like that. My number 1 song, this is my number 1 because I absolutely love it. It is the song Rockstar. The unfortunate part about this song is it only got to number 6 on the Billboard charts. Now, again, number 6 and having any place on the Billboard charts is absolutely amazing. A very, very prestigious title. But I'm sure everyone agrees when one of their favorite artists or favorite songs or favorite albums reaches number 1 on any kind of chart, it's just kind of a good feeling. So finding out it only got to number 6, I was a little upset because some of their other number 1s I don't think deserve to hit number 1 as much as this song did. If you guys haven't heard the song Rockstar, it is literally about being a rock star, especially for Nickelback and all of the things you see on TV about just stereotypical rock star things. I think one of the reasons I like the song so much is it embodies my inner wants and deepest, darkest desires to be a rock star. Although that's never going to happen because I have a fear of singing and can't sing in front of other people. So yeah, again, that is never going to happen. I hopefully have changed a few of your minds to go and check out Nickelback if you, for some reason, have not already heard any of the songs on the list I just named. If you're going to listen to any of them, listen to Rockstar, my number one song. I guarantee you, as soon as you hear the first 5 seconds, you're going to be standing on a coffee table, strumming an air guitar, just like I may have embarrassingly done at one point by myself. Let's not talk about that. Just do it. Go ahead. I guarantee you, you're going to love it. After we get back from the break, we're going to talk about Billboard's Global 200 Top 10 songs right now. They have quite the list going on with some artists having multiple songs in the top 10 right now. No surprise there. People who make the top 10 are always releasing absolute bangers. Later on, we're going to get into the best songs from the early 2000s. I think everyone can agree the early 2000s was quite the time in music. The songs that were produced and released in those times are songs that will haunt us for the rest of our lives. Whether we like them or not, we will never be forgetting about them. We will be right back after the break, everyone. Go get a drink, grab a snack. Be right back.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope while you were gone, you may have checked out some of Nickelback's songs, and maybe you jumped up on your coffee table and started playing air guitar, like I have been guilty of in the past while listening to some of their best songs, especially my favorite, Rockstar. Don't forget, later on, we're going to be talking about the best songs from the first decade of the 2000s. We all know that was such a phenomenal time in music. All the songs and records that were released and produced were some of the best songs that we've ever heard of, and we still listen to today, even though some of them are over 20 years old. Or, yeah, still over 20 years old if they got released in 2000 because it's 2021. Right now, we're going to get into Billboard's Global 200 Top 10 list. I'm going to let you guys know what is current on their top 10 for this week, and then I'm going to talk about if I think any songs that are ranked lower on the 200 list deserve to be in the top 10 compared to what is in the top 10, because I'm not a fan of every single song on there, but we're going to talk about that. All right, so the week we're going to be talking about for the Global 200 Top 10 of Billboard is the week of April 10th, which are the dates of April 4th to April 10th. For those of you who don't know, the Billboard Global 200 is a chart that is based on streaming and sales data from over 200 territories global. So that is all over the world, 200 territories. So in my opinion, when we look at this chart, because it's based off, again, 200 territories and streaming and sales data, it gives you an accurate depiction of how popular these songs really are right now. As you guys may have remembered me mentioning before, Billboard takes their charts from multiple different streaming networks. And again, if the streaming network has a subscription to it, that gives the song or album or artist or whatever the section may be a higher weight when it comes to the charts. And because Billboard does pull from so many different streaming networks and services and sales from all kinds of places, in my opinion, I think Billboard is one of the most accurate places to check out if a song or an album or an artist is really doing well, because it is not just only from one place. Like you could say Spotify charts are based off streams from their subscribed listeners, and Spotify has a huge following. But again, Billboard pulls from many different places and not just one particular streaming service. So again, I think it's probably one of the best ways to actually see how well a song or artist or anything is doing. We're going to get into the current top 10, starting with number 10. You guys should know how this works by now. I make you wait to hear what number 1 is. At number 10, we have Hold On by Justin Bieber, my favorite, as you guys have probably can recall from the past. This is at number 10 right now. This song was the first single for his album Justice that came out a few weeks ago. I do like this song, and it was the first single from the previous album, but I personally actually don't think it really belongs at number 10 as much as I love Justin, and I do really like this song. I think if one of his songs was going to be in the number 10 placeholder, it would maybe be his song Ghost off the album Justice that is currently sitting at, it's in the 50s on the Billboard Global 200 chart. I think that would hold better at number 10 than Hold On. I like Hold On. It's just a very repetitive song. And to be honest, that was one of the reasons it was released as a single. People release catchy singles to get everyone talking about the upcoming album. They just want people to talk at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter if the song is good or bad. Not saying the song is good or bad, but if you can get people talking, that's what really sparks a fire and creates publicity, as we all know. At number 9, we have the song Up by Cardi B. I think this song sits at this placeholder very fine. It is a song that is still currently trending very popularly on TikTok. And because TikTok is one of the most popular social media sites in the world currently, I think it deserves to be there for that reason. Just everyone has heard it at least once at this point, and it's just so popular. So I think it's sitting perfectly fine where it is. Don't really think it should move up or down. I like the song. It's not one of my favorite songs ever, but because of its, wide popularity right now, it definitely deserves to be in the Global 200 top 10. At number 8, we have Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Before I get into my opinion on the song, let me say that it has been on the Billboard charts for 69 weeks straight. That is over an entire year of continuously staying on the charts. That is such a long time, and only 9 other artists in history have unlocked that achievement of staying on the charts for that long. I believe if he is on there for another 19 or 20 weeks straight, then he will be the only artist in history to have ever stayed on the charts that long. And from the way it's going, considering he is in the top 10 on the charts and has been for 69 weeks straight, I think he will be able to achieve that with no problem. I do not like the song as much as I think some people probably do. I like the Weeknd stuff that came out in 2014, 2015. His songs like Often and Earned It. I like the Weeknd for more slowed down songs like that. I do like the song Blinding Lights. It is not my favorite song. It was actually WrestleMania's official theme song for WrestleMania 36 in April of 2020. So I think that makes me have some kind of an attachment to the song, even if I don't love it that much. If WrestleMania picked it as a theme song, then, it's got to be a good song, and a lot of people got to like it. And even if people don't like the song, they are definitely listening to it still, considering it's in the top 10 on Billboard. People are using it for so many different promotional reasons, and it's being played in public all around. Again, even if people don't like it, people are listening to it. Because of its wide popularity, I think it deserves to be in the top 10. No question about it. At number 7, we have Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. This is in the same boat as Up by Cardi B. It is just being streamed in so many different platforms worldwide that it deserves all the popularity that it is receiving. It deserves to be at number 7 in the top 10 globally. It's just everywhere you look. It's still being used on TikTok widely with so many different trends, and everybody knows the song, whether they like it or they hate it or they're tired of it or they think it's too cookie cutter, girly, heartbroken about boy song. They've heard it. The other day I was sitting in the car with my boyfriend's mom and we had the radio going and the song came on and she's like, I absolutely hate this song. I'm like, well, you've heard it enough at this point, and it hasn't even been out for that long and people still know it enough to hate it. So I think that says a lot about the song. I think it definitely deserves to be in the top 10, no question about it. At number 6, we have Levitating by Dua Lipa featuring DaBaby. I've become a new Dua Lipa fan as of recently. I was never not a fan of her, but recently, since how well she did at the Grammys, and she's gotten a lot more fame as of late, I'd say. I've been checking out more of her music, and I've really been enjoying it. This song is a huge hit in terms of feel-good and dance party songs, stuff like that. It is, I would say, almost defining the era of pop right now. If you think of pop songs in the decade of the 2020s, I think this will definitely be one of the top songs on there when, 2030 rolls around and we're looking at the best pop songs of the decade. This song will 100% be on that list. So I think it should be in the top 10. I think number 6 is just a fine position for it. At number 5, we have Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. Personally, I don't like this song too much, and I don't think it's very popular, so I'm not sure how it is, 1, sitting in the top 10 of the Global 200, and 2, sitting at a number 5. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean other people don't like it. A song I'd rather see sitting at number 5 would be Without You by Kid Laroi. That's sitting at number 21 on the Global 200 chart. I think that would be better, 1 in the top 10 at number 5 instead of Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. I just don't think Save Your Tears is that popular, but, I also have to remember that the Global 200 is from over 200 territories, not just the US. I feel like a lot of people forget that music is not just something that happens in the United States. It happens all over the world. So just because I don't think Save Your Tears is popular in America doesn't mean it's not popular in other places. But again, I think, Without You by the Kid Laroi would, have a better placeholder there. But it is what it is. At number 4, we have Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, aka Silk Sonic. I think I'd mentioned before I do not really like this song. One of the reasons I think it has been so popular lately is because it's one of the first songs Bruno Mars has released in a while, so that's probably why that's sitting at such a high point. People are probably just really excited that Bruno Mars came out with music. A song I would have liked to see sitting at number 4 instead of that would be Positions by Ariana Grande. I really like that song, and Ariana Grande has been holding the fort down in the music industry for a number of years now. So I think she deserves that spot a little more. And because I hear Positions played in public and I see it talked about online a lot more than Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic. So that's my opinion on what in terms of popularity for it. At number 3, we have Astronaut in the Ocean by Masked Wolf. I hadn't even listened to this song until I looked at it on the global chart. And I listened to it and I really, really liked it. I don't know how popular it is. I haven't really seen anyone else talking about it, and I don't think I've heard it played in public or anything like that. But I really liked it. And I see why people like it and are most likely streaming it a lot. I mean, for it to sit at number 3, a lot of over 200 territories, a lot of people have to have been streaming it. So I really like it, and I think it does fine at number 3. Maybe I have heard it in public, but because I hadn't heard it anywhere else, it kind of just went over my head. Possibly something like that. At number 2, we have Montero, aka Call Me By Your Name by Lil Nas X. This song has stirred up quite the drama, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It has a lawsuit with Nike and has a lot of people not too pleased with the references to Satan in the video and all that stuff. If you haven't heard about any of this, you are living under a rock, my friend, because even before I watched the video or listened to the song, I saw all the drama on social media regarding all of the lawsuits. besides the fact that it has so much drama going on, it is sitting at number 2, which is that is very popular for a Global 200 chart. If it's sitting at number 2, that means a lot of people at least are listening to the song. Whether they like it or dislike it, like stated before, a lot of people around the world are listening to it. The song itself is about Lil Nas X going over a friend's house, and he likes a friend, and he got the inspiration to write it off of the film from 2017, Call Me By Your Name. I'm sure a lot of you know Lil Nas X is gay, and the movie Call Me By Your Name from 2017 was one of the first gay films Lil Nas X has ever seen, and it really inspired him to go ahead and write this song and get more awareness out regarding the LGBT community and gay men specifically, because there's not as many songs about gay men out there as much as there are about other areas of sexuality. I like the song. I'm not a huge Lil Nas X fan in particularly. I think he puts out good music. I just personally never really add it to my playlist. The unfortunate part of why I think this song is sitting at number 2 doesn't have much to do with the talent of the song or how good it actually is. I really just think it is about all the publicity the song has been receiving lately due to all the lawsuits and all the people who have the issues with the Satan references in the song and everything having to do with that. I think if there wasn't such a big to-do about the song, it may not be sitting at number 2, but I can't say that for sure, because I'm sure you all know Old Town Road was an absolute hit. It is still sitting on the Billboard charts to this day. It is not in the top 10, but it's still on the charts, and it was being played absolutely everywhere, and you heard about it everywhere when that song first came out, and even months after that. So again, I think the song deserves to sit at number 2 for purposes of popularity, not as much purposes of, you could say, talent, in my opinion. Lil Nas X is definitely talented. I don't think the song is the best of his work, but again, it's just receiving so much publicity as of late. It's going to sit at such a high spot on almost any chart. Sitting at number 1, we have no one other than the Prince of Pop, Justin Bieber, with his hit song Peaches, featuring Daniel Caesar and Given. As of late, this song has gone absolutely insanely viral everywhere. Since the album got released, it has been a huge hit. Billboard predicts the song to be one of the top hits of the summer, and I cannot say that I disagree. I do love the song. I really do. It's not one of my favorites off the album, but I think it is one of the more fun, let go, freeing songs off the album, and it is just something everybody wants to listen to and have a good time listening to it. It definitely is a song that I see being played and used for a lot of different punchlines for the time to come, without a doubt. Just like many of Justin Bieber's old songs, they are often used as punchlines. Everyone knows it. And quite frankly, I enjoy it. Even though I love him, I enjoy listening to the punchlines regarding all of his music. Justin even loved the song so much himself, he went ahead and got a peach tattooed on his neck. If that does not show that you really, really love a song and dedication to how well you think it's going to do, I don't know what does. Coming up after the break, we are going to talk about songs you need to sing in the shower, not songs you should sing in the shower, songs you need to sing in the shower. You absolutely have to. And don't forget, later on, we're going to talk about the best songs from the 2000s, a decade that have some of the best music to ever exist in the world. We will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. In case you forgot what we just got done talking about, it was Billboard's Global 200 Top 10 list and a review of all those songs and their recent popularity. Now it's time to talk about songs you need to sing in the shower. And yes, I am saying the word need because it is an absolute necessity that you sing them. Everybody sings in the shower, whether you want to admit it or not. I don't know why there is such a big thing against singing in the shower. Some people are so opposed to admitting it, but it's freeing and it's something we all need to do. This list is not in any kind of particular order at all. It is just a bunch of songs that pop in my head when I think of singing in the shower. If I made a list of every single song you should sing in the shower, we would be here for hours on hours and hours and hours on end. I don't even think I could come up with that list entirely without driving myself absolutely insane and my hand cramping up from writing every single one of them down. But I have made a decent-sized list, and I'm sure all of you have heard these songs before. They are very popular, and again, they're songs you've probably sang in the shower already. I'm going to start out at the top of my list. Again, these are not in any sort of particular order. They are just what popped in my head first. The first one is Umbrella by Rihanna. This song is something you need to sing in the shower because it is talking about umbrellas which cover you from water. And if any of you have seen the lip sync battle where Tom Holland lip syncs the song Umbrella, he, at one point in his performance, water absolutely falls down on him and he starts dancing. That just makes you want to dance in the rain, and shower can imitate rain. So again, a song you absolutely need to sing your heart out in the shower because it's necessary for the song lyrics. It just has to happen, especially because you're underwater. The next song is Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. Another song you have to sing in the shower. Is no choice. The shower gives you great acoustics. I'm sure you already know this because you are all singing in the shower. Again, whether you want to admit it or not, gives you great acoustics. The song Love Me Like You Do, if you are not a good singer like myself, the shower is going to make you sound so much better singing the songs. Ellie Goulding can hit those phenomenal high notes and get to those alto sounds that not many people can get. And the shower will help you do that. So again, Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding, absolute necessity. You sing that song in the shower. The next song, we have the one and only Baby by Justin Bieber. You've all heard this song, and most of you probably hate it. Even if you did like it at one point, it's been played so many times that you are just tired of hearing it. This is a classic song for me as far as being a believer, so I personally am always going to love it. Even if you don't want to admit it, you know all the lyrics to the song, especially if you are a millennial or a Generation Z like myself. You just know all the lyrics. They are ingrained in your head, almost like like it was welded in your head or something like that. Baby is an absolute must to sing in the shower. Just scream it at the top of your lungs. When Ludacris's part in Baby comes on, when he says, when I was 13, I met my first love, if you're not grabbing your shampoo bottle and pretending it's a microphone and singing into it, what are you doing with your life? The next song we have on the list is Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. No pun intended, the song is a huge party song. Everyone remembers it and everyone knows the lyrics. Again, it is a very popular song and one of the songs you absolutely need to be singing in the shower, whether you like it or not. It is just so popular and a great song to sing in the shower and just listen to. I know a lot of people listen to music in the shower and you find yourself singing. whether you mean to or not, it's just almost a subconscious, out of control thing. You end up singing if you know the lyrics, whether you like the song or not. It is just some kind of brain chemical, and it's just science. It just happens. The next song we have on the list is Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. This is one of those other songs that was definitely beaten to a pulp in its time, much like Baby by Justin Bieber, but it is still a sing in the shower kind of song. It definitely had a lot of its popularity in its time. I haven't heard it since as often as I did when it came out, but I still know all the lyrics, and as soon as I hear the sounds start playing, I start having flashbacks to middle school, and it gets kind of ugly. Anyways, definitely a song you need to sing in the shower. It just has a great cheesy tone to it, and the shower is to sing all those cheesy songs that you don't want to sing in public, except for at karaoke. Karaoke is one of those places you sing the cheesiest songs you can find, and you get as much into character as physically possible. The next song is Breaking Free by High School Musical's none other than Gabriela Montez and Troy Bolton. This is one of my favorite songs known to man. I don't care that it is from a child's musical. The musical came out when I was 6, and I am still a huge fan of it. When they hit those notes and they're singing soaring and flying, you need to scream at the top of your lungs. Wherever you are, you do not have a choice. Great song to sing in the shower, no matter what time of day it is or what type of mood you are in. The next song on the list here is Pocket Full of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield. Every time I hear this song now, I think of the movie Easy A, where she gets the card from somebody, and it's one of those cards that when you open it plays music, and it plays Pocket Full of Sunshine. And the first time she hears it, she absolutely cannot stand it. And then over the next few days, she keeps opening it, and before you know, she's singing the song in the shower and dancing around, singing to the song, listening to it in her room. Pocket Full of Sunshine is definitely more of a cheesy song meant for some love story, mediocre movie, but you gotta admit, it's really catchy. And again, the songs are made for catchy, not the songs, the showers are made for really catchy, cheesy songs. It's the way the universe works. The next song on the list is Good as Hell by Lizzo. This is more of a recent song compared to the other ones on the list here, but I would definitely put it in the category of songs to sing in the shower, especially if you're feeling a little down about yourself. Definitely a song to belch at the top of your lung, and you will be feeling confidence in sooner than later for sure. Fake it till you make it. Next song is I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain. For my ladies listening to this song, you gotta sing it in order to feel like a woman. No, I'm just kidding, but you do gotta sing the song. Even if you're not a woman, you gotta sing it. When the beginning of the song where she says, "Let's go, girls," I definitely want to kick my legs up for whatever reason. I'm not a dancer or singer by any means, but I don't know why. I really just want to kick my legs up when I hear Shania Twain say those words in the beginning of the song. Definitely a great song to listen to, period, and especially to sing in the shower. Next song on the list is Hello by Adele. As I mentioned before, the shower gives you great acoustics that you cannot get in other places if you are not typically a good singer. Hello is one of those songs that not many people should sing by Adele. I think everyone can agree. Some songs can have covers to them by other people and sound fantastic and sometimes even better. Personally, I do not think Adele is one of those singers. People can mimic their songs and make it sound better. Adele has such a beautiful voice, and she can get up to such high tones and make it sound good that not everybody can do. And in the shower, with the music playing and with the acoustics from the water and the rest of the interior, you can sound about half as good as Adele, because no one is ever going to sound as good as Adele, let's be honest here. But you can sound half as good as Adele. And the song Hello is a great song to sing, especially if you're feeling a little heartbroken lately. And even if you're not heartbroken, like in my case, who has never really experienced heartbreak on a relationship level in my life, I still sing these breakup songs at the top of my lungs, much like the song Hello. Definitely a banger to always sing in the shower. The next song we have is Love Story by Taylor Swift. I played the song for the first time for my boyfriend the other day in the car. I don't know how. Well, I shouldn't say the first time. It was the first time I made him listen to it and really pay attention to the lyrics. This is one of my favorite songs of all time, personally, and a great song to sing in the shower. When Taylor sings those words, "Marry me, Juliet," you can just hear a crowd erupting in your brain. I don't know why. I don't know how she did it, but that is just what happens when you listen to the song. And it's a song you want to jump up and down and you get really, really excited about, especially when she sings that part. So that is a song you need to sing in the shower while you're scrub-dubbing. The next one on the list is That's What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. Just like Baby by Justin Bieber, this is one of those really, really cheesy songs that not everybody wants to admit they know all the lyrics to, but odds are you know all the lyrics to them. This is a very upbeat dance party song that you want to scream at the top of your lungs when you're really in the mood listening to it. So again, you have to sing this in the shower. You don't have a choice. You know the lyrics. Even if you don't want to know them, you know them and it gets stuck in your head. And you might as well sing them in the shower where nobody can hear you. And even if somebody can hear you, at least you're going to sound good doing it. Moving on the list, we have none other than I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. Now, the Backstreet Boys are a little ahead of my time. Or I shouldn't say ahead. They're a little bit before my time, but I still know the song I Want It That Way. Who doesn't? It's a classic. When they're singing and they all start harmonizing and vocalizing together towards the end of the song that they want it that way, you get really pumped and you really want to start swaying back and forth and you're singing the lyrics, even if you don't want to. So that is a great song to sing in the shower. Again, and the shower makes you sound good. Next on the list, we have Halo by Beyonce. Beyonce is another one of those singers in the same category as Adele, as there really is no way to cover her songs and sound better than her, even if you are a good singer. But Halo is a song very similar to Hello by Adele, actually. It's just very hard to mimic. But in the shower, you can sound almost half as good. And that's a song you want to sing at the top of your lungs as well. So again, Halo, great song to sing in the shower. Next one, we have Best Song Ever by One Direction. This is one of my favorite songs by One Direction and always will be. It is really, really upbeat and fun to listen to. And it makes you almost want to shake your head back and forth like you're at a rock concert or something like that. I wouldn't recommend doing that while you're singing this song in the shower, especially if you have longer hair. Might get caught in the shower curtain. You might slip and fall, and that would not be a very good thing at all. So definitely would sing Best Song Ever in the shower, but keep maybe your body movements a little bit under control so you do not slip in some soap and hurt yourself. Next song we have is Raise Your Glass by Pink. I actually didn't even really like this song when it first came out, but I remember my best friend at the time really, really enjoyed it, and I was never really a fan. But it's grown on me over the years, and it's definitely a song you need to sing in the shower. This is also a song where you really want to throw your head back and forth like you're at a rock concert. Again, would not recommend doing that, but definitely a song to sing in the shower. The next one we have is Tick Tock by Kesha. When she says, "The party starts when I walk in," you all get hyped. I know you do. Don't lie to yourself. And if you've never heard the song, I guarantee you as soon as you listen to it and she sings those words, you're going to get hyped. It's just science, and it's what's going to happen. This is a great song to sing in the shower, very fun to listen to, and very fun to sing, especially if you've seen the parodies on YouTube. I would recommend singing those in the shower as well because they're really fun, especially if you really are in touch with TikTok's original, not TikTok's, Kesha's original version of the song TikTok. Next two we have on the list are both by Hannah Montana. We have Nobody's Perfect. You have to sing in the shower very, very dramatically. Nobody is perfect. It's the way the world wants you to live. When she says that everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days, you need to be looking back and forth in the shower in a very dramatic tone to really embody the song itself. And it will just improve your day, I guarantee you, and it will make you feel so much good. And the song Best of Both Worlds by Hannah Montana, the theme song to the show, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it before at least once, is so fun to listen to. And it is so fun to sing. Really gets you on your feet. I hope you're probably on your feet in the shower, or you could be taking a bath. That's normal too. The bath is a little more relaxed, though. I wouldn't exactly suggest singing Best of Both Worlds in the bath if you're trying to have a relaxing time. Although for some people, relaxing isn't always quiet. Relaxing is sometimes really loud music with a lot of stuff going on, and that might be Best of Both Worlds for you, even if you are taking a bath. Another song you absolutely have to sing in the shower is Low by Flo Rida featuring T-Pain. Talk about apple bottle jeans, boots with the fur. You absolutely need to sing this. Everyone loves this song. It is just a classic from 2000s. It's fun to sing to. It's fun to sing along to, and it's also really fun to listen to, especially because in my opinion, it makes you want to dance like an absolute lunatic, even if you aren't a good dancer like myself, and at least in the shower, nobody can see you doing it. Again, remember not to get too hype about the dancing because you are in the shower and you do not want to slip and fall. Next is Last Resort by Papa Roach. As soon as you hear those lyrics, cut my life into pieces, this is my last resort, it is one of those songs, again, that makes you really want to bang your head. You can't bang your head again because you're in the shower. Highly would recommend not doing that. But it is just a great song to sing. It really is, but no matter where you are. And it also just takes you back to a time, if you are familiar with the song, of how your life was when it first came out. It's a really fun, more rock and emo song to listen to. The other one is You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. This is a great song to sing in the shower because it's something you can really get invested in and sing at the top of your lungs. It is one of my favorite songs, even though I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan. Again, one of my favorite songs to listen to and sing in the shower. The last one I have on the list here is Gold Digger with Kanye West and Jamie Foxx. I have to admit, I am really not the biggest Kanye West fan or the biggest Jamie Foxx fan, but they really hit it out of the park with this song, and it is one you want to sing in the shower. I don't know why. I'm not good at rapping. It's just one I just feel so, like I just want to sing to it. I'm not sure why. I usually mess up on the lyrics, and I embarrass myself in a lot of ways if anyone can hear me, and 9 times out of 10 my boyfriend in the other room can hear me singing from the shower or attempting to rap in the shower. But I also always do it with a lot of emotion, so my imaginary audience should at least be impressed by the emotion that I put into it and the dramatic effect. I hope you are all willing to admit to yourself that you do sing in the shower. There is nothing to be ashamed of. The shower is everybody's time to shine when it comes to performance. Whether you're singing songs or you're having fake arguments in your head, it is your time to shine, and nobody can tell you otherwise. After we come back from the break, we are going to talk about the best songs from the first decade of the 2000s, a decade that had the most popular music that is still in our heads today, and it is never ever going to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blank and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Maybe over the break you thought about what your favorite songs to sing in the shower are. Now we're going to get into the best songs from the first decade of the 2000s. I'm sure everybody knows this was a decade to remember when it comes to music. Even almost 20 years old, we're all still singing a lot of these songs. I have a list of the top 10 best songs from the year 2000 to the end of the year of 2010. I'm, of course, going to start at number 10, and you guys will find out my number 1 at the very end to create some anticipation. Starting at number 10, a song we just spoke of was Gold Digger by Kanye West and Jamie Foxx. This song did very well, peaking at number 1 on the Billboard charts, staying there for 22 weeks straight. 22 weeks is a very, very long time to stay on the Billboard charts. Having any spot on the Billboard charts at all is absolutely amazing, especially peaking at number 1. That is absolutely amazing. I mentioned before, I'm not a huge Kanye West fan or a Jamie Foxx fan, but they really outdid themselves with this song. It is very fun to listen to, and really just it is a good song. I can't lie or deny the absolute facts. At number 9, we have Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. She has personally taught me how to spell the word bananas from this song, so I would just like to thank her for that. She did a lot more for me than elementary school ever could when it came to spelling. This song was also number 1 on the Billboard charts with 53 weeks on the charts. 53 weeks. That is over 1 year. Absolutely amazing. It stayed number 1 for 4 weeks straight. That is a whole month of staying number 1. That is absolutely amazing. I really, really love this song. It's really, really fun to listen to. It also reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Brain on All or Nothing. The song is played in it, and every time I hear the song, I think of the movie before I think of anything else. Something really interesting about Holla Back Girl, it was the first ever digital download to sell 1 million copies. I think that is a very cool accomplishment in the world of digital downloads. So that's something Gwen Stefani should really be proud of with the song and everyone who contributed to making the song. And I'm sure she is. That is just a really cool thing in my opinion, because digital downloads are somewhat of still a new thing, even though Holla Back Girl came out almost 20 years ago. It's still, digital downloads were relatively new at the time and still now. So that's just I just really think that's a cool thing to be able to say as far as when music was transferring from cassette tapes and CDs to digital downloads online. At number 8, we have this song, Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. I have to admit, the first time I ever heard this song was listening to the audition covers for it in the movie Pitch Perfect. If you've seen the movie Pitch Perfect, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was the first time I ever heard the song, and that was in 2014, I think. But since then, I've been absolutely hooked, and it is one of my favorites. Since You've Been Gone was number 2 on the Hot 100 charts, number 1 on the Pop 100, and it stayed on the charts for 46 weeks. And it peaked at number 1 on the Global 200. It stayed on there for 32 weeks. For those of you who don't know, the Billboard has multiple different charts, so that is what I'm referring to when I say Pop 100 or Hot 100 or Global 200. Being on just one chart is amazing. Being on multiple charts and staying at number 1 for multiple weeks at a time is a great accomplishment. Kelly Clarkson has more than earned her stripes, especially since this song came out. Since You've Been Gone is a classic by her, and I think it is definitely one of the songs that defines her when people think of her music. At number 7, we have I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. This song is one of my favorites because when it came out in the 2000s, that was still more of a time where a girl saying she kissed a girl was more of a taboo thing to talk about, but Katy Perry did not care. And for some of you who may not know this, Katy Perry's parents are preachers. So she grew up in the world of church and everything like that. So I don't think it was expected for her to release a song called I Kissed a Girl, but she did nonetheless. And I think it was a great time to move along some conservative views at the time. The song hit number 1 on the Canadian digital song sales and was on there for 47 weeks. That is almost a year straight, which is absolutely amazing. It was also number 1 on the Billboard Global 200 and stayed on there for 44 weeks straight. Again, that is almost a straight year of continuously being on the chart. Absolutely amazing. I think probably one of the reasons the song did do so well was its popularity of, you could say, in a taboo time where a girl talking about kissing another girl was not something that was as openly talked about as it is today. So that was, I think, had a lot to do with its popularity. The song sold 4.8 million digital copies in the US, and something really interesting about it is it became the 1000th number 1 song of the rock era. I didn't know that the song would be involved in the rock era. That was a surprise when I read about that. I always thought of Katy Perry as a pop singer, but nonetheless, that is a really cool thing to have accomplished. Hips Don't Lie, just like the numbers for these songs don't lie. At number 6, we have Hips Don't Lie by Shakira. I'm sure you all know and love the song Hips Don't Lie. And you all know and love Shakira because, well, who doesn't and why would you not love her? This song is one that we all know very, very well today. And we all sing and make a lot of jokes about, like I just did. The song was number 1 on the Hot 100 and was on the charts for 31 weeks straight. Phenomenal numbers she did there. And the song also reached number 1 in over 55 countries. I can barely get word out about myself to like all 3 of my friends. Can you imagine people in over 55 countries listening to your song? That is just so unfathomable to think about. I really, really love the song Hips Don't Lie. I listen to it very, very frequently. It's on my playlist. It makes me very envious of Shakira that I cannot dance like her. I can't dance, period, and I especially can't dance like her. A song, Hips Don't Lie, is one that makes you want to dance and get up and get off your feet. And it's a really fun song to listen to. At number 5, we have the song Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls featuring Busta Rhymes. This song is another one of those songs that is really, really fun to listen to, and I believe defines the first decade of the 2000s. The Pussycat Dolls were a very, very popular girl band in that time, and especially the song Don't Ya got a lot of recognition, and to this day, a lot of people still know about it and have heard it and know a decent amount of the words. The song was number 2 on the Hot 100 and stayed on the Hot 100 for 40 weeks straight. That is almost a year. That is 75% of the year, actually, that they were on the chart. So that is an amazing accomplishment right there. It was number one on the US Hot Dance Club charts. That is not a surprise at all. Don't Ya is 100% a song you want to dance to. Again, I can't dance, so I don't dance to it, but in my head, I am a great dancer, and I am busting all these moves to the song, just like everybody else who can actually dance in the club. Don't Ya, definitely a song I could see in the early 2000s that was a hit song in any kind of club or party social atmosphere. The song was also number one in 15 countries. Being number one in one country or any kind of sector at all is a huge accomplishment. 15 countries is absolutely amazing. I can only imagine how that feels to know that you were touching millions and millions of people with your music. At number 4, we have Lose Yourself by Eminem. This song is a little different than the others on this list. It is a rap song, just like Gold Digger at number 10 is a rap song. And something really interesting is this was Eminem's first single hit on the Billboard charts. It is a soundtrack from the movie 8 Mile. I'm sure some of you have either seen the movie 8 Mile, heard of it, or you've seen the parody movie of 8 Mile, which is something. We're not going to get into that. But it's a great song nonetheless. I really love it. I still listen it to this day. A line I really love from the song is "Success is my only option. Failure is not." Those are kind of words I like to live by, and I believe it's great inspiration for anyone listening to it, especially his younger fans. The song did very well on the charts as well. It was number one on the Hot 100 and was on there for 23 weeks. That is such a long amount of time. Considering it was his first hit on the Billboard charts as well, 23 songs must have been very, very flattering for him. I was really surprised to find out that Lose Yourself was his first single on the Billboard charts, but I got to think back to, those were just, the song came out such a long time ago. I mean, it came out in the early 2000s and we're already in 2021. It's a whole decade has passed since then. And I often forget that because I think the song is still played out widely to all kinds of different social settings still and online. And I believe it still enters the Billboard charts very frequently, even though it's such an older song. At number 3, we have none other than Baby by Justin Bieber. We spoke of this song on Songs to Sing in the Shower. This song came out in January of 2010, so it just barely made the 2010s. But nonetheless, it is a huge song, and in my opinion, defied a generation and a time of music. I'm sure a lot of you know it is not only the most disliked video on YouTube, but the first video in YouTube history to hit 1 billion views. So that is a pro and a con right there. The song has an enormous amount of popularity, and like I mentioned before, everybody has heard it and everybody knows the lyrics to it whether they want to or not. So that is the reason I put it on this list. It is just such a huge popular song, and I believe always will be. It was number 2 on Billboard's Global 200 charts, stayed on there for 68 weeks. That is over an entire year. That is almost as long as The Weeknd has been on with his song The Blinding Lights. He's at 69 weeks. Baby was on the Global 200 for 68 weeks. That is such a long amount of time. And I'd like to think that a lot of people agree, whether they like the song or not. It's just so popular, and it really did defy times of music at the time when it did come out. Sitting at number 2, we have Umbrella by Rihanna and Jay-Z. One of the bigger reasons I decided to pick this song to be number 2 is because when I'm scrolling through playlists on YouTube or Spotify, or I'm looking at any lists that are talking about the best songs from the first decade of the 2000s, I always see this song. And don't get me wrong, I really, really love the song. That's why I do have it at number 2 in my top 10 list. But I see it so often of other people thinking it really was one of the top songs of the 2000s. So that's a big reason I put it on the list. And again, I really do enjoy the song. I mentioned it as one of the songs to sing in the shower, which I stand by wholeheartedly. It's a really fun song to listen to, and I think Jay-Z's part is in it very well. I think there are a lot of songs out there where it's very debatable if the feature was necessary or not, and I think the feature in this song is, one, different because it is at the beginning of the song. I think a lot of people could agree, features are in the middle of songs or towards the end. In this case, I'm sure you all know, the feature with Jay-Z is at the beginning of the song. So I think that was an interesting placement, and I think it goes together very well. So that's, I think that's cool. So I think that's a big reason I have it at number 2 and in my top 10 list. I think it is just a little different from the mainstream. So at number 1, we have Single Ladies by Beyonce. This song is something we all know and love. Single lady or not, hearing the words "Put a Ring on It" are just so popular and everyone knows what you're talking about. The song itself was number 1 on the Hot 100 for 4 weeks straight. That was number 1 for 4 weeks. That was not on the charts for 4 weeks. That was number 1 for 4 weeks. Staying at number 1 for 4 weeks, a whole month, is absolutely huge. That says so much about how well the song is doing, how many people are listening to it, and how many people like it. That is such a huge accomplishment. But are we really surprised it is Beyonce at the end of the day? The song had 4 million sales and was certified quadruple platinum. That is 4 times platinum. I really love this song. It is always really, really, really fun to listen to. When I'm in the car listening to it, I always play on with my boyfriend where she says, talk about single ladies, put your hands in the air, and I'll put my hands in the air to mess with my boyfriend. And he thinks that he always makes fun of me. And he's like, you think you're so funny. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty funny. But I really, really love the song. And I think it has become so popular, and just the terms "put a ring on it" is just so widely known that it really, really did defy music, not only up until now, but especially of the first decade of the 2000s. Some honorable mentions I have here. They did not make my top 10 list, but I think they were very, very popular in the 2000s are Bye Bye by NSYNC. I believe this is one of the most known songs by NSYNC. Maybe it's just NSYNC is not really my generation. They're before my time. They broke up just when I was 1 or 2, I think. I was very young, so I don't know a lot of their music. But a lot of people still know the song to this day that are my age, even though they were young when the song came out, or some of them weren't even born when the song came out. I think it is just very popular to this day. So again, it's 21 years old and people still know it and are still listening to it and are aware of the reference if people make the reference. Another honorable mention is the song Yeah by Usher. This is a very, very popular song to this day as well. Lots of you could say lots of honorable mentions for the song. It's played everywhere still as far as social media and concerts and parades and any kind of social environment. It is still very, very popular to this day. My last honorable mention is Toxic by Britney Spears. I'm not a huge fan of this song, but you gotta admit, Britney Spears really helped in defining the decade of music in the 2000s, not only for music, but as a woman as well. Toxic is a very, very popular song. Everybody knows it, and it still gets played widely in malls and those kinds of settings. So definitely it was a song that defied that generation and that decade. It's not one of my favorites, hence why I didn't put it on my list, but I had to mention it. I really do think that the first decade of the 2000s is going to go down as a time in music that changed so much. It really was such a popular time, and so many barriers were broken in so many ways when it comes to the music industry, and will most likely always be one of my favorite times for music, even though I was barely even alive when it started and was only 10 when that decade ended. Thank you guys for listening to the GSMC Music Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask you all to go, please remember to subscribe to the show and write a nice review. It really helps us out. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's any particular things you want to listen to. Also, if you could please go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is always greatly appreciated. We want to keep you guys updated and also hear what you have to say. Remember to stay healthy, everyone. Wash your hands, take your vitamins. We will see you next time.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.